I released my game Couch Combat just over a month ago on Steam, and I've been making devlogs over the entire period of the game's development, which was over 2 years long. So I had around 2,000 wishlist at launch. So how did the game do? Well, that's complicated. Finances are complicated. I don't make nearly all the money from every sale. Right away, Steam takes a 30% cut in exchange for letting me put their game on their marketplace and also providing marketing for my game. Other than that, people can also refund my game, and also taxes are taken from that total amount, cutting down the percentage of money that I actually make to around 50 to 60% of gross sales. The most important day when it comes to launching a game is launch day, and that was the most obvious and second least useful sentence in this video, only beaten in uselessness by this sentence. Day 1 had 21 sales, which was honestly pretty bad. I suppose I just expected to get more wishlist conversions first day. I had over 2,000 wishlists and had been hyping up the game quite a bit on my YouTube, but despite the rocky start, things began to slowly become less rocky. This was due in part to me publishing a video just a few days after launch talking about that last week of development, a video which just happened to do quite well. But by the end of the first week, I had actually sold 90 units and made around $746. But this wasn't the exact amount I was actually going to take away when all was said and done, because I still had to account for refunds and taxes. But now, a bit over a month later, I've gotten 256 sales, which makes $2,560 before Steam's cut, which then turns into $2,106 gross profit, and a final net profit of around $1,585. Now, $1,600 is a bit of money, but it's really not that much for around 2 years of work. Now, I haven't exactly spent those entire 2 years grinding on the game full time. I had to learn Unity in the beginning, I had schools and sports and made a ton of jam games, and I've had this YouTube channel to manage, and sometimes we've just been ridiculously unproductive. Oh yeah, and that's not my final profit, because I actually spent a decent amount of money on the production of this game. So let's go through the fun process of cutting down my profits just a bit more, shall we? There were really only 3 expenses. First off, I commissioned music for the game, second, I commissioned an artist to create cover art, and finally, I bought a couple of assets to assist in the creation of the game. And adding all these expenses together comes to an estimated total of around $1,300 total. I think I got a very good deal, and I'm happy with the work that both commissioners did for the game. But that unfortunately brings my profit to around $285. Which is pretty pitiful. Now that I'm going over my analytics for this video, it really does look like Couch Combat was a terrible failure, but that's not really how I feel about the game, to be honest. Thinking about it now, I'm ready to be over with this, but I think I learned a lot and got a decent amount out of it, although I would have loved for the process to be much easier. It would have been so nice if my devlogs had just done better, and I wouldn't have ever had to consider marketing my game at all. Or even if I just had a somewhat okay wishlist conversion rate closer to the average of 10% instead of my abysmal 2%. But I'm not exactly hurting for money right now. I made quite a bit more money off my channel than my game and off of sponsors. And I'm still in high school, so I don't really have to worry about making money yet. But I still have some hope for Couch Combat to make a bit of money. One last try, as I've actually increased by over 1,000 wishlists since I've launched the game. So I have 3,000 people, which is a somewhat big untapped group of people who are interested in my game. My goal is to create a sort of perfect storm to convert as many people as possible, which might also help Steam to push the game a bit more. I have no idea if this will actually do well, but here are the 3 main points that I'll execute all at once. And the first one is the easiest. I'm going to press a couple of buttons. I'll put the game on a decent sized sale, and I'll also use one of my visibility rounds on Steam. And my reason for using this visibility round is because part 2 is that I will be releasing a big update, and the main focus for this update is the one prevailing request and complaint I've gotten while making this game. But I'm gonna try, for the 3rd time, to do online multiplayer. I've been taking it slow this time, and I think it's possible to add it into the game, but it will probably take a lot more time. If I can't get it to work, then I'll probably just give up on Couch Combat and move on. But I made some progress, so let's hope that I actually get it done. And the 3rd part of this final push for Couch Combat is just to try to release a successful video whenever I drop this update and sale. Of course, it's impossible to make sure that video is successful, but I'll try, and maybe it'll bring a few more people to the game and help Steam to push it just a bit more. Overall, I'm happy with how the game turned out, and I want to try to improve it in the future and try to improve the sales, but it's not a huge deal if it doesn't do well. It is mostly I just want to move on to my next project. But yeah, those are my metrics and future plans for Couch Combat. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe, and thank you to my Patreons. Bye.